Well, she's installed and running the ridiculous way it looks, I know. But that's before I understood that this unit couldn't handle the load of the room. Because eventually it wasn't supposed to be a window air conditioner, it was just supposed to be this. But this unit can't pull down without the window air conditioner's help. So, here's our ducts. I got some Cortex from Home Depot, cut it on either side. Here's our inlet, here's our outlet. Now before I did that, I made sure that this side of the unit wasn't sucking in too much air, and it seemed the air was being more sucked from that side. This side was just throwing out water. The compressor is here, but for some reason it wasn't really sucking. I think the accumulator's on that side. No, excuse me, the compressor's on this side, I believe. Well, either or, it wasn't really sucking air on this side, so I felt, let me put the exhaust there. But the wind is blowing that way so strongly anyway that it's not really going to get sucked in. So we're going to have that cool air from the wind coming in here. This is getting pushed down underneath our dry cooler, or our condenser you could say, even though it's a water-cooled system. You can call it the cooling tower if you want. It gets pushed down there through our coil. Heat gets extracted and out. And that's cooling the water for our compressor. And it's already getting really cold over here. Ugh. Let me move this chair back. Here's the system. I've been running maybe about 10 minutes now. We're returning 67 degrees. We're putting out on the window air conditioner a low of 47, 48. This guy is, the return is 62. This grill is pushed up, and the air I want to direct away from it that way, because this unit I want to kind of cool its own space. Now we got about, oh, it's colder than that actually. You gotta get right on the suction line. Yeah. 45. It varies from spot to spot. It was at 42 before. It's alright, we'll call it 45, 44. So it's blowing about the same as the window air conditioner. Let's see what we got on this side. Right on the suction line. Same thing. Oh, 42, there we go. So it's blowing a bit colder. And our liquid line going back is about 116, which is, I guess, R22. Oh, I have my conversion chart on the side. Compressor's running nice and cool, 110 degrees, 111 degrees. Our condenser water in, which I can't really get an accurate temp reading on this. Looks like, you see, it's all over the place. Alright, looks like, call it 90, 89. Let's see, a condenser water out. Should be hotter. So I don't know why that's not reading properly. Oh, there. Alright. Alright, so it's about 111 degrees. So it's about, what, 12, 11 degrees, somewhere around there. A little higher. So it's not bad. So far it's doing okay. I'm going to let this thing run. We're going to see how far I can pull down my room. We're currently 64 degrees. It was 66 degrees about 10 minutes ago, so it already pulled down this corner of the room where the little sensor bulb is, a few degrees. And it's a little cooler over here. And we're going to see how far we can pull this thing down. Now, my room has never really been below 64 degrees, so I want to see with both of these units running how low we can pull this room down. So this is basically it set up. I'm gonna leave it like this for the rest of the summer. I'm gonna work this thing to the bone. I put so much work into this unit that I want to get the work back out of it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, all right. I'll update you guys in like a half hour to an hour, and we'll see where we're at. All right, guys. I got the light on my phone. I know it's been running about an hour now. AC 66. The room is 64.2. It's kind of staying around 64. But one thing you got to remember is when I built this, I did not know how to read TXV sizing. The TXV valve is undersized by 1,000 BTUs in here. It's 1,500 when it should be 2,400. So the valve that's in here is 1/8 of a ton, which you know, is 1,500 BTU. and it really should be 1/5 of a ton, which is 2400 BTUs. So I have the wrong TXV valve in there, so it's not putting out the full BTUs, even though the compressor is rated for 2400. So I don't know how that really works, but that valve is probably open as much as it can be, but the orifice is still not big enough to take in the full amount of BTUs that it should be. But it's working fine. We're still at 45 degree VAP, and on my chart it's 84 PSI in the coil. We're running a low superheat. I got about, it's a 6 degree superheat. But that's expected with a medium temperature system. But I'm just surprised my evap coil is not colder. But again, these systems, the evaporator temperature will go down when the room temperature goes down. So if that was to go down to say 64 degrees or this area, or lower than it is now, the evap temp would come down to probably 35 or 38 degrees. It would start to go down, but as you can see, it's definitely sweating. Now this was our pressure was too high. We were about 259 PSI, which is way too high, and that's because that duct was sagging. So our temp, yeah, see, we're coming down. We've definitely dropped. It was at 125 before. Now it's at 122. So I'm happy with that. There's our liquid. Nice clean liquid. Little gas going through, but now you might think that's undercharged, but I think it's just the way that this is facing, because believe me, this thing has a full charge in it. But it also might have to do with the TXV valve being undersized. Second thing, I put a fresh water charge in this, but the water charge could still be a little bit better. We're coming back pretty hot, which I don't like. But it's doing what it's doing. The compressor hasn't cut out yet. Compressor's at a normal operating temperature, 130. It was at 139 before. It came down 2 degrees when I stopped the sagging of that duct. So that seemed to help with the efficiency of the system a lot. So I'm happy about that. But I think this is as good as it's going to get. Unless I size up that TXV valve in there, this is as good as it's going to get. I got to add a little more pressure to the water charge in the system, which I'll do, but I'm going to do that off camera another day or something like that. But yeah, so far, I mean, it's running okay. Still no drips yet, but I'm going to have a cup ready so that this doesn't start leaking on the floor like it did last time. But yeah, it's definitely condensating, that's for sure. I mean, it's definitely cool. I touch up the paint around these little tubes, the white. It's not primer. I wanted to do like a color-coded thing, as you can see, the gray with the stickers, condenser water. I'm still going to paint this whole cabinet white, but that's what it is for now. So yeah, I'm about to go out on my scooter. I had to put on a new thumb throttle because the old one broke. I got to do a video of this guy, so this is a lot of fun, the 08X. So yeah, alright guys, that's an update on the system. I hope you enjoyed, and if I get around to changing the TXV, which probably not, because this is going to be donated to a school anyway. It's really just a teaching device. So, you know, look forward to the next project, which is building my own window air conditioner. I just ordered a compressor. I just ordered an evaporator coil, and it's going to be R12. Yes, an R12 unit. It's going to be an interesting project. So look out for that. I already got a TXV valve for it. Down here, 1 ton Sporlan R12. So unit runs at 9100 BTU, and medium temperature 1 ton is about that, around that 92, 9100, somewhere just meeting it. So I didn't want to undersize the valve like I did with this one, so that's why I bought this 1 ton, because I did have a ½ ton ready to go, but I didn't want to do that. So yeah, that project is going to be different than this one. I'm ordering all the parts in advance, so that way when I put it together, it'll only take me 2 weeks to build it, and it should be ready to go. This thing dragged on for like over a year, but that's because it was my first time doing this. So this taught me a lot. Next project should go a lot smoother. You can see I also got an R22 sticker down there, so you know the refrigerant in the system. Just wanted to point that out. The same thing with my R12 window unit. So now that unit is going to replace this, because that unit is going to be able to cool down this whole entire room and pull it down really fast, and it should pull it down below 66, 64. I'm hoping that baby will pull it down to 59. It's going to be a medium temperature system anyway. Compressor's rated for high back pressure. It'll start out at 9100 BTUs. Once it pulls down the room, the BTUs will lower because the evap temp lowers. The evap temp will go down to 20, and it'll still be putting out 5400 BTUs, which is plenty for this room. So that unit's going to kick butt. I'm really excited about that project. I can't wait to get started on it. So look out for that project, guys. You're going to really like that one. But yeah, this guy is in, and it's going to run the rest of the summer. All the work this unit put me through, all the problems, I'm gonna I'm gonna make it work. That's for sure. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Mike out.